Hi viewers, welcome back to the third session of Ask Me Anything. Today we will be discussing the topic of title search and transfer of property. I welcome to all of you on behalf of NRI Legal Services, and you know NRI Legal Services are handling all the property related issues of NRIs, and they provide imperative support to NRIs to handle those property issues, and we are always there for you to handle your property matters. Viewers, I would like to introduce my team with you, and in my team on my left is Advocate Agarthi. Advocate Agarthi is our senior legal associate, and on my right is Advocate Nikita. She is also senior legal associate with NRI Legal Services. When I talk about title search, and it is not easy to search that property when there is a requirement to search the property of the NRIs. When we say title search, it means what is the present status of the property of NRIs, because it is imperative for the NRIs to know whenever they have left any property behind, maybe ancestral property, maybe their parents' property, or maybe their own property, then they should know the present status of the property. To find out the present status of the property, we assist the NRIs to search that property in case they want to get the details about that property, who is the present owner of the property, who is physically occupying the property at this stage. And when we have to do all those activities, say who is in the physical occupation of the property, then we have to go and personally visit and physically verify the details of the property. On ground inspection is done of the property, and all the occupants of the property who are occupying that property, those details are taken on ground, so that we can share those details with you and we can find out the present status with regard to the occupation. And also we also have to see that who is the owner of the property. When we have to search the ownership records, we have to approach the revenue authorities in case the property is agriculture land, and also we have to approach the municipal authorities in case of urban property. And when we approach the revenue authorities, it is not easy to get the record immediately, because those records may be old records. Those records, we have to trace those records. We have to get the certified copies of the record. Certified copies of the records is mandatory, because unless the certified copies are available, the record is not considered to be authentic record. And similarly, we have to approach the municipal urban authorities to find out the details of the residential property, if such property is located in an area which is urban area. And when we search these properties, we have to find out, take photographs of the property on ground, and those photographs also are to be shared with the NRIs, with the whatever details we collect from on the spot. And also we have to liaise with various people on ground. We have to approach various authorities. So a lot of sweat is to be taken out before you get all the details of the properties. And now the next topic which we will be handling is the transfer of property. Transfer of property is means the change of ownership of the property. So any issues pertaining to these two aspects you have with you, please shoot your questions to us. We are there to answer your queries, and we are there to handle those queries. Any questions of her on screen? Okay.
We're just looking for the questions.
Okay. Okay. When I talk about the transfer of the property, ladies and gentlemen, the transfer of the property can be in two ways. One is that a person wants to transfer the property when he is alive. When a person is alive, then the property can be transferred by way of gift deed. It can be transferred by way of sale deed, and even there is another method, signing of transfer deed, or it can also be by way of relinquishment. And in case a person is dead, then the property can be transferred either on the basis of the succession, and secondly, property can also be transferred on the basis of the will if a person has left the will behind. And when we talk about the will the property, then we have to see that the will property goes to the natural legal heirs and on the basis of the will. And in the case of succession, it has to go to the legal heirs and it is divided amongst all the legal heirs. But on the basis of the will, when the property is transferred, we have to ensure that the will is provided in some of the case states, and in some states provision of will is not required. Only on the basis of the details available in the will to whom the property has been inherited by the person, and that person inheritance details are mentioned in the will, the property is transferred on the basis of the will itself. But only thing is that you have to have two local witnesses, and if we talk about Punjab, then the presence of Nambardar is mandatory so that he can certify it and authenticate the details in the mentioned in the will. And moreover, any questions?
Yes, there is one question.
So there's one question regarding a sale. There's a question from Ms. Anju Gosai. I am from UK and want to transfer my property by way of sale to a buyer in India. Can I do it staying here only without visiting India? So it's a question on the sale deed.
Okay.
Thank you for the question, Ms. Gosai. The answer to your question would be then yes, the transfer by way of sale which we are talking about here, it is that you can do that if you are residing outside India. That can be done on the basis of GPA. You can give a journal power of attorney to a person residing in India, and that person on your behalf can definitely transact the sale deed on your behalf. In some of the states, definitely there are some of the states in which the sale cannot be proceeded with on the basis of GPA if you are giving to a non-blood relative. So yes, definitely you can do that. Sir, would you like to throw some?
Okay. When the property is being transferred on the basis of the sale deed, then one has to ensure that the sale deed is properly registered, and also prior to the registration of the sale deed, there is agreement to sell which is signed between the parties, that is buyer and the seller. We have to ensure that in that agreement to sell as well as the sale deed, the property details are correctly mentioned, and also it is to be ensured that the specific date for finalizing the sale deed is also mentioned, and also the mode of payment is also mentioned in that agreement to sell, and there are so many other formalities which are to be complied during signing the agreement to sell or finalizing the sale deed. But only guidance is that when you are accepting the consideration or payment from the buyer, then you have to ensure that the consideration is paid either in the form of NEFT or in the form of drafts, because there are chances of fraud that the checks can be bounced. So you have to be careful that the property is properly transferred on the basis of sale deed, and all the penalties are complied with, and sale deed is duly registered.
So
Any other question?
Yes, sir. There is one question from Mr. Mridul. I would like to answer, sir.
Okay.
So Mr. Mridul has to say that, hello sir, my uncle is an NRI and have an ancestral agricultural property in Gujarat which is to be transferred in his name along with his siblings. Is their presence required for getting it transferred in their name since their father has expired? So thank you for your question, Mr. Mridul. So in Gujarat, the ancestral property is transferred via succession entry, which is known as PD Nama. And its foremost requirement is the presence of one of the legal heir in India to get it executed. And there are a few requirements which needs to be completed before, such as you do need to have the ownership or title documents along with the original death certificate and other identity proofs and miscellaneous documents to get it accomplished at the revenue level. It is also important that there should be two local witnesses who can authenticate this entire process, And we at NRI Legal Services do provide this service, being it the most significant services of our company. And yes, the presence is mandatory, and this makes the process complete in entirety and also very much authentic.
Okay, next question. Nikita, can you read?
Thank you, sir. There is a question from Mr. Sameer Sam. The question is, hello, I am an NRI and presently residing in London. I want to seek guidance upon gifting of the property in India. My father wants to gift the house in India to my sister. Okay, hello Sam, thank you for your question. The answer to your question would be that definitely you can, your father can gift the property to your sister. And in case your father, in this case your father would be called a donor and your sister would be donee, and by executing a gift deed. In this gift deed, there specifically major documents are required, which would be the ownership documents of the property, the foremost important, and the second would be the identification proofs of the donor who's giving the gifting the property and the donee. So these two are the most important documents which are required. And there's something which I would like to clarify here, that there is certain amount of stamp duty and registration charges also which is being payable at the time of the registration of this gift deed, which is a mandatory requirement. The registration is a mandatory requirement, so which will be levied on that time when the registration will be done. So that will vary from state to state. So definitely your father can give the property to your sister.
Okay, so the property can be easily gifted, but you have to comply with all the formalities while gifting the property. And as Advocate Nikita has brought out, one has to be very careful that gift deed is duly registered and the details of the property mentioned in the gift deed are relevant and correct details. So,
I would like to answer one question.
okay.
So there is one question from Miss Sunita. That hi, I am from UK. Recently my father passed away, who had a house in Gujarat. This house was transferred from my father's name to my brother's name and myself. Now my brother wants to release his part of property in my name. There is no one else in the family apart from me and my brother. How to get the transfer done? So first of all, to release the share in your favor through your brother, it is important to get a release deed executed, which is also known as relinquishment deed, which will include all the required details. And we do provide assistance in preparation and execution of the same. However, the property can be released through general power of attorneys, but in few areas, the person who is releasing his or her share needs to sign it personally where he or she is residing at present, and it should also be notarized at the same location as well. And during this process, once the release deed is properly executed, the same is submitted in the concerned department in India to get the legal heir, that is the sole owner in your case, to get it on record that now one person has released the share and other has become the owner of the property.
Okay, good viewers, I have seen that there is more questions coming up. Next question, Nikita.
So there's one question on the situation by Mr. Ajay Chugh. I have a house in village Rudka Kala, Punjab, and have been told that this house is a part of Lal Dora and the house belongs to my father. How can it be disposed of?
Okay. Gentlemen, I must bring to you that this Lal Dora property is a property which does not have records in the revenue authorities, or it is not existing in the municipal records. But Lal Dora property is very well transferable and it can also be sold. And in most of the states, the Lal Dora properties are being transferred and sold. And in your case also, that property which is existing in Rudka Kala village in Punjab district, in Punjab, this property can be easily transferred from your father's name to your name. Only thing, you have to have certain documents, that is the ownership documents and demarcations of the property, because Lal Dora properties are properties which were during the Britishers era in 1908 were demarcated with a red line delineating the farmhouse, the agricultural land and the residential land of the villagers. The residential land of the villagers who were staying next to their agricultural lands was made part of the Laldora. Laldora means that there was no record of the properties, and the villagers could construct houses in that particular area, and even when you have to carry out any modification in those houses, then the building bylaws are also not required to be followed. There is no need to take permission from any authority to carry out any renovations on those properties. But the only requirement is that you should have the records of that property, and in case you are not able to find those records, you have just the details, then NRI Legal Services can assist you in finding out those details based on the basic information which we get from you, that is the particular area, and also the next door neighbors, and all those details if we have, we can assist you in getting that property existing in village Laldo, in village Rukakala, but by falling in Laldora area to be transferred from your father's name to your name. It can be easily done. Any other question?
Yes, there is one more question from Mr. Thomas. Hello sir, I am an NRI and have a residential property in Raja Garden, New Delhi, and I do not have any idea about the price. I want to sell this property. Can you assist me in getting the price of this property? So yes, Mr. Thomas, we can very well assist you in getting the valuation or assessment of your property. We do get the government as well as market valuation of the property. For the government valuation, the government officials provide us the rates based upon the circle value of the property. And for market valuation, we do have certified market valuators in every state of India, which can help you to get a proper certified stamped valuation report. And it can be also used for future purposes, such as if you need to get the property disposed of or any other purposes, official purposes. So yes, you can definitely hire us for getting your valuation completed.
And I must like to add here that this valuation which is done by the certified valuators, it's a approximate valuation. And you should not get carried away that it's a fixed value of the property, and property can be sold at the same price which is given to you. It can be plus or minus, it can vary, but this valuation is closer valuation, so you can rely upon that valuation. Any other question?
Yes sir, so there is one question on will sir, I think. So this is from,
You can read the question, I'll handle the question.
yes sure sir, I'm just going through the question. So this question is that, just a second sir, I have to scroll it. Yes sir. So question is from Miss Tamanna. She's saying that, hello sir, my cousin is an NRI and his mother is no more, and she had left a will wherein she had made him owner of the house which she had in Ludhiana, Punjab. What are the formalities and documents needed to get the transfer done in his name?
Okay. When this house will be transferred on the basis of the will. Now, the documents which are required for completing the process of transfer, the basic document is that first of all we need the original copy of the will, because the original copy of the will clearly brings out that to whom this property has been bequeathed. And secondly, the death certificate of the person who has written that will, the death certificate should be available in original, and also the ownership documents of the property, because at the time of writing the will, when your grandmother was possessing that property, she must be having the ownership documents, so those ownership documents are also required. And also, if any other legal heirs are there, then the details of all legal heirs should be available with us. And subsequently, also when we go for the transfer on the basis of the will, you have to have the ID proof and also the address proof in whose name the property is to be transferred. So these are the basic documents which are required at the time of the transfer. And so far as the formalities are concerned, formalities, you have to see that at the time of the transfer, the application is made to the concerned authorities, and thereafter you have to have minimum 2 witnesses. And as I brought out earlier, if the property is existing in Punjab, then the presence of Namdar is mandatory, and he should be present to certify and authenticate the details in the will, and also about the details of the legal heirs. And so far as there are certain other states where the other formalities are required to be completed. Okay, any other question?
There's one question, sir, I would like to take up. The question is from Mr. Tanish Walia. Hi, Mr. Walia. One of my friend's father died without leaving any will. He has two married sisters and no brother. One of his sisters is insisting that she should be given half of the share, as other sister is not interested in claiming any share. Is her claim right? Please tell. Okay. Thank you for the question, Mr. Walia. The answer to your question would be that when a person is dying intestate, that is without leaving any will, here it is a male, he is governed under the rules of Section 10 of Hindu Succession Act 1956, and there is a enlistment of legal heirs according to which the preference is given while the property is being inherited, when the property is being inherited by them. So here, as I assume, there are just two sisters and a brother. 3 legal heirs are there, 3 surviving legal heirs. Taking that into consideration, if one of the sisters is relinquishing her share, definitely she can do that by way of executing a relinquishment deed, which is also known as a release deed, which earlier Advocate Akriti has also mentioned. She can do that in favor of either one of the parties, one of the legal heirs, or equally in both of the legal heirs, favor of both of the legal heirs. She can do that. Accordingly, when she gives up this relinquishment deed, the other 2 legal heirs will be entitled to half share each in the property. So whatever is she is claiming at this point of time, she is right in that claim. So she can definitely do that.
Okay, good. Hope we are getting a lot of response. Any other question which we can take up?
Yes, sir. There is one more question from Miss Sakshi, and she is just a moment. I'll just read her question. Yes. That hi, I am from UK. Recently, my father passed away, who had a house in Gujarat. This house was transferred from my father's name to my brother's name, and I think I have to I'll just recollect it. Just a moment. It's here, yes. With hello, thank you for your live session. I am residing in USA, and my father left an apartment in a cooperative society in Gujarat. What is the process for getting into the names of family members?
Okay, Sakshi, let me answer this question for you. You are having a house, your father was having a house in a cooperative society, and now this house is to be transferred to your name. Let me clarify that houses in cooperative society are maintained, the details of those houses are maintained with the authorities of the cooperative society, that is the president and secretary. Those officials of the cooperative societies have to be approached, because in the cases of cooperative societies, the details of the owners are mentioned in the name of share certificates, and also there is a allotment letter which is issued by the society officials. So initially, after approaching those officials of the cooperative society, those share certificates have to be transferred in your name, as well as the allotment letter has to be transferred in your name. Once these formalities have been completed, that the share certificates have come to your name and also the allotment letter has come to your name, then municipal authorities can be approached and the records towards the ownership of the property can be amended in the municipal records also. So basically you have to approach the cooperative society officials, for which NRI Legal Services can assist you, and also many states these formalities can be completed through the power of attorney holders, for which also we provide the assistance. Any other query?
I think there's one question we have missed. You would like to take up that. This is a question by Ms. Swati Grover. Hello everyone. Hi Swati. Please tell me, is it mandatory to validate the online records? Would you like to take up?
Yes. So hello Ms. Swati. So yes, it is very much mandatory to get validated the online records, because the online records are verified by the concerned officials, and thereafter they are also certified by the officials who maintains the revenue as well as municipal records of a particular area. So since the online records are not authentic or stamped, it is very much important to get it stamped, verified through the officials, so that the authenticity of the documents can be retained.
Okay. So viewers, we keep on getting the queries from your side, and we are always there to welcome those queries and answer those queries. And so far as these two topics are concerned, that is title search and transfer of property, I hope the queries raised by you have been clarified, and those answers will assist you in getting your properties transferred or getting the search done on those properties which are owned by your ancestors. And any other query which you have, it is most welcome, and you can approach us through on our website, that is query@nrilegalservices.com. Any issues, anything which is left out, you can ask us, we will clarify those things. And NRI Legal Services is always there for you to look after your interest pertaining to your properties or any issues related to the properties. You can approach us anytime on our website, and even the details which are mentioned on our website, you can contact us anytime. Through telephone also we are available for you. And before I conclude, I must say Merry Christmas to all of you, and also wish you a very, very Happy New Year. Please stay safe and healthy. Thank you so much.
Thank you.